I've been told that I should be careful about what I say in my video blog because it can come back to haunt me, particularly when I'm looking for a job. Fuck that shit. I'm getting real sick and tired of people trying to control what I say and do, and I know I'm not the only one. Yes, the advice given to me to watch what I say on my video blog is in good faith, but it still bugs me. To me, the ability to speak my mind and say whatever I want is something that's very important to me, because I hate beating around the bush where there's an elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room in this case is the fact that we're slowly losing our freedom of speech. Sure, I mean, we don't have to worry about getting our heads chopped off anymore for speaking our piece, but if we still have to face severe penalties for saying what we want to say, and those penalties aren't really necessary, is it really free speech? Let's say I started work a couple months ago at a new place, and I have no complaints, and my boss is happy with me, I'm doing my job well. A couple months in, my boss sees my video blog and sees the episode where I talk about how Asian females discriminated against black and Spanish males in dating. My boss is an Asian female. Should I worry about my job security? No, but I probably will, because even though that episode, and none of my episodes in fact, have anything to do with my ability to do my job and to do it well, she'll probably be so offended that she'll do her best to fire me. Look at Charlie Sheen. Say what you want about him, I probably agree with you, but people still pay for him to be on TV. He's got a crazy personal life that, in his case, actually blends into his professional life, and people still pay for him to be on TV. Now, someone like him can get a job. A person who got a job because of his crazy public image. Why can't somebody with a video blog who's just speaking their mind, not spreading hate, but just speaking their mind, get a job as well? Let's say you're in college and you got everything going for you. High GPA, good work experience, and you get your dream job. And a month later, your boss fires you because they see that you got a couple of Facebook pics where you got a little too tipsy one night. Is it fair to get fired then? No, it's not. Especially since a person who's firing you probably has a crazier personal life than you do. The only difference is that they were able to cover it up. Everybody has their own unique opinions. The only time it's wrong to express them is when you feel in your gut that there's something wrong with what you're saying. Taking away your job is just one way people try to take away your individuality. Last year I was in a sociology class and my professor put up a study where people who thought that the first president was George Washington, and rightfully so, were put in the room with people who tried to convince the guy that the first president was Abraham Lincoln. And the more people they put in that room to convince the guy, well, the first president was Abraham Lincoln, the more of them actually caved to their ideas. They said, well, you know what, the first guy who was president was actually the guy who ran the United States from 1861 to 1865. Sure, the roles could have been reversed. You could have studied people who thought that the first president was Abraham Lincoln, put him in a room with people who tried to convince him that the first president was George Washington. But if you had to choose between two extremes, stubborn to the point that you're ignorant or compliant to the point that everybody speaks for you, wouldn't you rather be the former? Then there's another problem, the fact that we need to label everything. The minute we see something out of the ordinary, we need to label it. He's gay, she's bipolar, she's lesbian, he's antisocial. Look, there are people out there who are clearly gay, and there are people out there who clearly have mental disorders. Although I'm not saying that there's a correlation between the two. There's clearly none. But let's say somebody's antisocial. Instead of thinking that there's something wrong with them, why can't you just sit back and think that maybe they're antisocial because they don't like putting up with other people's shit? I know that's why I can be antisocial sometimes, and I don't appreciate it when people try to figure me out by trying to label me because they have nothing else better to do with their time than to try to wrap me up in a little box. You can't bite my tongue. You can't make me agree with the majority because it's easier to do so, and you can't define me. If you got a problem with me or anybody else who's strong enough to be proud of what makes them unique, it's only because you're weak.